Hello internet friends. Today I'm going to be making a quick and easy tortilla pizza bar pie. This is based on a Serious Eats article. I've done this a couple of times and I found it to come out really good. It's easy to do. There may be a couple quick tips I can provide along the way, so follow along, won't you? So the idea here is that you can use these flour tortillas to make a pizza that's very similar to the bar pies that they have at least around where we live on Long Island. In fact, Eddie's Pizza, one of the places that claims to have invented the bar pie, is right near us. They're basically very, very thin pizza. Actually a lot like a tortilla, but they are pizza dough, sort of a cracker thin crust. And anyway, Serious Eats figured out a way to do it with these tortillas that comes out almost as good, or maybe even better, depending on your preference, than the real thing. So we use the tortilla and a cast iron pan. Of course, you want to get tortillas that fit into your cast iron pan, and the broiler. So set your oven rack right up near the top there. This gives me enough room on this notch here to broil the pizza properly. It actually only takes about 2 minutes in my oven. Ovens may vary, they say 2 to 4 minutes. And although I do like to use fresh ingredients for stuff just to prove a point, and because this is what I have on hand here, I've got some pre-shredded mozzarella cheese, some pepperoni slices, pre-sliced, and some store-bought tomato sauce. And of course the fancy Parmigiano Reggiano, because you can't skimp out on that. No green can will ever enter this house. So this will go together pretty easily. I got all my ingredients ready to go. I just have to heat up the pan, set the oven. Let's go ahead here and do it now. Set the broiler to high, crank up the pan, and get this guy going. There's another thing I'd like to do just for safety purposes, to remind myself that this cast iron pan is going to be scorchingly hot. I don't take any chances. I'm sure everyone has grabbed a hot pan handle by accident, so I always, at the very least, I leave a pot holder very nearby as a sort of visual reminder that there's something hot here. And in fact, later on when I'm actually dealing with this, I'll just go ahead and stick that right on the handle. So I'm going to make 2 of these, one with plain cheese and one with pepperoni. I've never done it while holding a camera, so this might actually be a bit tricky. We'll see what I can do here. So this has been on a bit longer than I want, actually, because I'm talking and trying to film. Put a little bit of olive oil in there. It's a bit more than I wanted. Wipe it out. You might be able to see, probably not on this iPhone camera, that it's smoking a little. So here is where it goes together quite quickly. Put your tortilla down. Get your sauce going. Put a couple spoons in there so that I don't have to keep messing with the jar. This is the part that I find the most annoying. It's hot. There's a lot of heat going on here. So spread out the sauce. You don't want to put too much sauce on here. You don't want it to get soggy. I might put a little bit more than that if I didn't have my hands full. Of course, when you reach the edge, it's all splattery. Now while you're doing this, of course, the bottom is cooking. So think about what you're doing. Spread some cheese on there. This is another one where, you know, it's possible to put too much cheese. Something I didn't think I'd ever say, but I don't want to overload it. Cheese will melt. Now I'm going to have to grate some Parmesan on there. I just have to put the phone down to do that, but imagine I did that. So now this goes into the oven, under the broiler. Boom. 2 minutes. Alright, now you really have to keep an eye on this because it's under the broiler and it can go fast. This is 2 minutes. It's only been about a minute and a half and it's bubbling away. So if that cheese is looking bubbled and brown, then you can go ahead and take it out. Alright, so I'm going to take my own advice and get this guy out of here. If there's any sort of tip I might provide, I would provide this tip. Take a peek underneath. Now it's black, so it's ready to go, so I'm taking it right out. Sometimes the bottom is not quite done. Let's see what it looks like there. Yeah, you got nice brown spots or blackened spots if you feel I might have overcooked this one a little. The talking did not make it easy for me to keep track of what I was doing. But anyway, there's your bar pie. Okay, so I made one. I'm going to make another one. The pan's got a little schmutz in it from the last time. I'm going to give it a little bit more oil. Of course, keep in mind that the pan is scorching hot. Again, I put my pot holder right on there so that I won't forget and accidentally burn myself. Alright, we're going to throw this guy in there. Get momentarily confused. There we go. Sauce. In the meantime, I hired a camera operator, so this one's a little bit easier. One key thing about the bar pie also, and one of the reasons I like a bar pie, is because it goes right to the edge. There's no ring of bland dough around the outside. Okay, now that's bubbling and squeaking, so I turn the gas down a little bit. Use all your senses when you're cooking. I don't want to completely burn the bottom of this one. There we go. Got our cheese. Now this one I want some pepperoni. Work fast. Boom, bada boom. Good amount of pepperoni on there. Obviously, whatever toppings you like, this is what we happen to have and what I like. Throw it under the broiler. 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, this one's ready. Again, it's a minute and a half, so don't just set your timer and walk away. These guys cook really fast. Now, as I said, I like to peek under there. This one's a little pale, so what I'll do there is crank the burner back on. I found in my several experiments with this, what I like to do is check the bottom, and if it's not browned enough, if it's not crisped up, then you can end up with kind of a floppy pizza. And part of the game here with the bar pie is to have a nice crisp bottom. Everyone likes a crisp bottom. So you're not going to be able to see that on the camera. There's no way I can do that. I'm just lifting it a little bit, but trust me, it's got a couple brown spots. They're just not as brown as I want. And so I'm watching it now because I'd like it to be brown but not black. Serious Eats, folks, I reread their blog article before I did this just to see, you know, I've been making this myself for a while, and so I was wondering how I diverged from what they recommended. And they slide it out of the pan. That was one thing I noticed. I lifted it out of the pan with a spatula. If you can slide it out of the pan, more power to you. Alright, I think this now has achieved the desired level of crispness. Kind of like bacon. It doesn't achieve its final crispness until it's out of the pan. I'm trying to slide this out just to see what happens. Yeah, that's not so easy. But it worked. Alright, so when this sits here for a few seconds, it actually kind of crisps up. This is my brand new pizza wheel. No promotional buzz marketing. but it does work. For a couple bucks, why waste your time with a crappy pizza wheel? And there we have it, the tortilla crust bar pie. Quick and easy, couple minutes in the oven, couple minutes of prep time. You do have to deal with a cast iron pan and clean up of the cast iron pan, but it's pretty easy. Maybe I'll actually make another video on how to clean your cast iron pan. And now I'm going to go enjoy my pizza. So here's the finished product. I went and dumped some Italian seasoning and red pepper flakes and so on it, but as you can see, it's crispy enough to stand up when held by the edge. It's got a nice brown spotty bottom, as we all aspire to. And I can assure you, it tastes quite good. It's got a little tortilla flavor. You definitely recognize the flour tortilla as opposed to a traditional pizza crust, but boy, for a couple minutes, you saw how easy that is to make. Quite tasty. So once again, thanks for watching.